Yes, so I've had a few collaborations. So actually, we did some physical organic chemistry a few years ago, and Nick Williams helped guide us and tell us what we were doing wrong and what we could do differently. I've had some collaborations with Lee Brammer, and yeah, there's lots of people that we could, in principle, collaborate with. I think the difficulty normally is finding funding to do that, but I think that's something that does happen in the department. Yeah. So I would expect a level 4 student to progress at a much slower rate in terms of what they do in the lab, to probably take a bit more time thinking about what they would do that day, and indeed sort of setting up reactions and seeing them through and analysing what comes out at the end. I recognise that that's not a routine thing to do from going from teaching lab experience to a research lab. So I would expect the progress to be much slower than a PhD student who is well into their PhD. But nonetheless, I'd expect them still to to work hard, be committed, and to do their best like everyone else. So they would expect to hopefully work hard, be given an interesting problem to try and solve, and they would expect to fit into an environment where PhD students take their chemistry seriously, and that they would be expected to contribute to. So level 4 projects are really important because they give you an insight into what it's really like to do experiments in a research environment, and that's completely different to doing experiments in a teaching lab. And experimental chemistry is very much the only way you can, well, not the only way, but it's an important way to establish facts. You can come up with theories, but until you actually do an experiment, get a result, and I guess use that in a predictive way, then you can't really put your theories into context. So I think doing experiments is really important, and actually doing experiments where the answer is not clear, you don't know what you're going to get, is also a really important thing to do, because you think more carefully, I think, about the process of the experiment, what it is you're testing, what its strengths are and what its potential limitations are, much more than if you have an experiment which is going to deliver something you already know what you're going to get.
Right.
I like working with students. So undergraduate students in the lab can be very productive. I've got a number of publications with level 4 students on there, so they can progress research. But it's just nice to work with level 4 students.